So I'm David Orr and I'm Chief Executive of the National Housing Federation, which is the trade body for England's housing associations. We have a housing crisis in this country, and in previous elections, although we've been under huge housing pressure, there's been no real commitment from the politicians to dealing with it, or no real public clamour. And so we thought that we needed to be as visible and noisy as we could be in ensuring that our politicians and those people who want our votes understand just how deep this housing crisis is becoming. So we've taken our views to the public and through them to the politicians. And I do think we've been very successful in ensuring finally that people understand that the housing crisis is something that affects millions of people all over the country, even people who are well housed now but worrying about their future, worrying about what will happen to their children, worrying what will happen to their grandchildren. So yes, it's been time for there to be a big campaign, and I do think Homes for Britain has succeeded in doing that. I think it's absolutely critical that the homes that we build are sustainable. Sustainable both in terms of how they are constructed and then in terms of how they're used. Given the nature of the housing crisis, we need our new homes to last for a very, very long time indeed. And it makes no sense at all to build poor quality, unsustainable homes that are expensive to heat, that people don't enjoy living in. So now that we are harnessing the technology and getting much better at understanding what makes places genuinely sustainable, environmentally sustainable and socially sustainable. Of course, we have that knowledge, we should be using it, and I don't think there is now any excuse for building homes that are expensive to heat and difficult to use. I think it's very interesting that the government has decided to deregulate some of the kind of sustainability requirements. And I think that's frustrating. I understand that this has been a government that thinks that regulation gets in the way. But I also think that if we depend on regulation to meet a sustainability agenda, that's a pretty poor reflection on the industry. I think that we should be building sustainable homes because we know that it's the right thing to do. We know that it has the long-term benefit. And I'm never very comfortable when I feel that we outsource the responsibility for big issues like this to regulators or government. We should own it for ourselves. I've been at this conference today, the Hertfordshire Housing Conference, and I've been hearing a bit about the BRE's housing quality mark. It sounds really interesting to me. I like having mechanisms that are clear, easy to use, easy to understand. I like the idea of, is this a 5-star home I'm living in or a 2-star? And wouldn't it be great if people began competing to say, I live in a 5-star home? And wouldn't it be great if our builders were building homes that set the objective of being 4-star or 5-star and then wearing it as a badge of pride and making that part of the marketing? So I'm not sure about the detail yet. I haven't seen enough of it to be able to say. But the basic concept, living in a great home, of course this is a good idea.